The oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear, and the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown. H.P. Lovecraft. Everyone fears something. Fear is built into us, and if you are really lucky, it will not consume you. There is a niggle at the back of your brain, reminding you not to hang your legs off the bed, not to look behind you as you run up the stairs at night after turning off the light. When passing a mirror, you hope that it was only your reflection you could see. That inch of movement you think you've seen from the corner of your eye. That blood-run cold feeling you get for no reason. That is fear. Welcome to a look into the unknown, where fear is always on the cards. Welcome to Paranormal Patter.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Paranormal Patter. Kieran, what is that? Is that some smoke or something to your left?
Yeah, it's an incense burner. It just
cool.
looked kind of. I caught it in the camera and I was like, I'm going to take that.
Looks pretty cool. First in tonight, Janice. Hi, Janice. She
How we
says,
doing?
"Hey guys, tonight's episode is going to be a really cool one. This one tonight, we're going to review some mediums on YouTube and give our thoughts, and we want you guys at home listening and watching to give us your thoughts on it as well. The reason I say we do this is because recently we've had quite a few mediums on the show now, and I'm actually starting to lose faith in the paranormal side of things because I've yet to be like, wow, this guy has just blown me away, or this woman has just blown us away. The last couple of guys we did have on, though, they were really cool. Didn't make any claims to be the second coming of Jesus Christ, but but they were really they were very cool, and I enjoyed speaking to them, and I would actually like to head out to one of their get-togethers at some point. Guys, how are you feeling? We're what, 6-7 episodes in, maybe more than that on Paranormal Patter. Have you been wavered? Are you still strong believers?
I'm still full believer.
Yeah.
I think the only issue I have is the theory-based stuff doesn't always work. I think I just need to get out, and I need to see more. I think that's my issue. Is everything like mediums we've had has been, for a lack of better way of putting it, been horseshit. But at the same, don't be wrong, cracking conversation. But in terms of, I'm still an avid believer. I just want to prove to people what I've seen.
Yeah,
that's my
that'd be pretty cool. What about yourself, J-Mac?
I think I'm still a believer. I would say. I think it's just it's a need at this point. I need to believe in something. I think because I don't believe in heaven and hell and stuff anymore. I like to think that everybody just kind of lingers around here for an indefinite amount of time. But I know I've still to be completely convinced. But I love the idea of it.
Absolutely. Craig Matthewman says, "Sup, dudes."
Sup.
Ash Eliza from Ashes to Ashes says, "Hello from Ashes to Ashes." Todd Forrest says, "Ghosts are real. I ken it. You ken it. Patsy kens it." Patsy does ken it. "I believe anything is possible, but haven't seen serious proof yet," from Janice. And Todd says, "Don't try a laugh next week, Kev, you bitch." More on that one to come. For me, again, I've always been a big believer, and then I seen her face. But actually,
I've always shit my pants.
and she wasn't even deed yet. But this Paranormal Patter has actually felt me. I feel like I'm squeezing a dish towel and there's no water coming out, even though I felt like before there was tons of water. But the things I've experienced, I can't exactly say that I could just put that to one side. Speaking of things that I experienced, something happened tonight. It didn't happen, but it's just one of those strange things. I'm going to tell you a little story, right? Go back a little bit. And this is kind of my tribute to the person mentioned. So recently, one of my my dad's longtime friends had passed away a couple of nights ago, and I was like, "Oh, that's a shame." So when someone passes away, you go on their Facebook wall and you just kind of remember what was them about them.
Mm-hmm.
I went on this guy's Facebook wall, right? And I was like, oh, that's quite sad that he's dead. That was that. And then in my mind, I went straight back to being like 13 and attending a Fight Star concert. And I was like, oh yeah, I had a friendship with this guy who was he was a white guy with an afro. And I remember the first time I ever met him at a Fight Star concert, must have been about 13, 14. I was like, mate, you're white and have an afro. Back then it was all right to say that, right? And he was like, I know, right? I know, right? I'm like, that's class. He's like, I feel it. So I touched his afro, had a great night. We both enjoyed the music, went home, thought nothing of it. Next time Fight Star came around, guess what I see in the sea of heads? An afro. I was like, he's back. So I stroll up. I'm like, dude, remember me from last time? He was like, yeah, remember me from last time. We traded MySpace. And then,
Nice.
right, we traded MySpace. We chatted for many years. And then I got a Facebook. And then I came off Facebook altogether. Forgot the password to that one. Created a new Facebook, which is a Facebook I still have now since like 2013. So I was on this Facebook wall of my dad's fallen friend. And randomly in my head, I went, oh, I remember that guy. I wonder how he's getting on.
Deed.
Went to his Facebook, and it comes up with a remembering. And I'm like, oh, no. And I thought, how bizarre is it that I was on a Facebook page of someone that had passed, right?
Then you just randomly thought of him.
There's no connection to this guy whatsoever. But I randomly was like, I wonder how he's getting on. And he's in fact been dead for 3 years.
I love the randomness of it though. Like you're just sitting there going, oh, my dad's pal's dead. Mind that guy with the white afro?
He's dead.
Like, where's the logic in that? Like, where does that come from?
Can you not draw any conclusion between the two people at all?
Nothing. No relation. Don't live in the same town. Absolutely nothing. It just came into my mind, right? To the point I was like, oh, I've not actually got him on this Facebook. You know, things happen, life happens, and you kind of stuff just drifts and you kind of forget, right? But one thing I would like to say is that guy was a really, really nice guy. He was a stranger who didn't feel like a stranger when I was talking to him. Super cool guy.
What was his name?
So sad. Colin Sheik. Yeah, he was from Fife. And he was a drummer, a really talented one at that. But we shared many messages, kind of like it's like almost like a pen pal before, like after the pen pal era. But we didn't live in the same area, but we kept in touch. We chatted about stuff. We always kept regular. And he was just one of those people that deserved a bit more for life. I think. Unfortunate, really sad actually to see it. And actually, I went onto one of the comments and I just typed, "Very sad to hear this." I was kind of trying to reconnect with him after a while and no really speaking and. For no reason to not speak. It just life happened, Life happened, and it's just really unfortunate to come across that, and he'd passed away. And I just thought, God, how very sad, how very sad. So there's my paranormal happening. I don't know if it's really paranormal, but for me, it's the link. It's almost like I was
psychological,
right? I got a little tap on the shoulder to say, you know what? Go and check on this guy just while you're here checking on that other guy. Very bizarre. Very bizarre. Has anything like that ever happened to anyone listening at home? If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts in the archives, please contact us at jibberjabberscotland@gmail.com or come find us on social media. Let us know if you've ever had any instances like that.
So you've now got me thinking, just before we jump off to that, like you've got me thinking, like, I don't know if this guy is deceased, but I used to go to quite a lot of gigs through in Glasgow, follow a couple of bands, and there was the same premise. There was a guy that was at every gig, and I met him at every gig without fail. And then
was he white with an afro?
No,
probably would have mentioned that by now.
I would have. No, to be fair,
it's Colin. I knew Colin.
one of my best mates growing up, actually. To be fair, was in the same class as me. Might remember him as well. A guy called Ian Robertson had a white man ginger throw for a while, which was just on a different level. But yeah, so like this guy, he was quite a small guy, quite stocky, and I remember going to a gig one day and he wasn't there, and I was just like, this is weird. Like never really spoke to him much, like other than the odd like right whatever, because you just bump into somebody often enough, you kind of get a wee repertoire going. And then I remember going to a gig and this guy wasn't there, and I was like, this is just this is weird. Like, I don't like this. I'm not saying like I don't know if anything happened to him or anything like that, but it is weird how many people you cross paths with that's all of a sudden just disappear and you had no idea why. Which is, I mean, I don't get how you can make a connection between the two. Somebody's definitely tapped you on the shoulder and went, have this wee idea because you need to go close that door somewhere. So that's
crazy, isn't it?
That is.
Yes, absolutely. Janice says quite a few things have happened in my life similar to that. Please let us know, Janice.
Well, let us know. Tell us.
Yeah. Brian Huntsinger, that's a brilliant name, says it's happened to me as well. I always believed it's something we have that goes past that 10% of the mind we can use but have to learn to tap into. I mean, that would be pretty cool if we could work that one out. Matthewman says, how many dead people's Facebook pages must still be active? Yeah, but you can do that thing now where a family member can memorialize it, which is a place for people to go and remember someone. I like that idea. Matthewman says, congrats, Kieran, by the way. Yeah.
Cheers, man.
Yay.
It was so funny. I could have sworn that you were already married, never mind not even engaged.
Well, the thing is, it's just the way you kind of talk.
I'm sure you always refer to her as my wife.
I do, because to me we always kind of we are, you know, bought a house together and all that sort of stuff. So we just are like, you know, that's just the way it is.
Of course.
But it's nice to kind of make that a reality.
So he's got engaged. I thought it was like a Mandela effect or something.
That's a subject we need to cover. Fucking hell.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, hey, yes,
that's fun. Why have we not done that yet?
I don't know.
Right.
Well, thank you, Janice. Thank you.
Let's do.
And Matthew, man, you guys are awesome.
The guys are, and if anyone wondering who does the amazing artwork on this show, the man himself is Craig Matthew Mann. There's 2 T's in his name. Make it a 3rd T by buying one and putting it on your top half. Right? You can go to redbubble.com/people/C Matthew Mann /shop, or just type C Matthew Mann into Redbubble. Buy all his cool stuff.
Do you know
He's the man?
What's really disturbing is how much, if you bring that up again for a second, if you can, how much Bert the Machine sticker looks like me.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like me. It looks nothing like me in real life. But that sticker, that could just be me.
You need to get yourself a trilby, man.
Also,
it's not even a trilby. It's not even a trilby, to be fair.
You have to change out the Kool-Aid for some brown stuff. Right. So the plan for tonight is to watch some stuff here along with you guys at home, kind of like a watch along, except we'll kind of pause halfway through if we've got something to say. So if any of you guys just put your hands up, we'll say, hey, wait a minute, and we'll talk a wee bit about it, like we're sitting around in a bar and we put something on the old phone and we go, let's watch this, and then we just kind of discuss it. So anybody at home that's watching right now, definitely hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you think of what we're watching. Some of it'll be this side and some of it'll be about that side. So we'll see some of the fakes and we'll see some of the, oh my God, did that just happen? Yes, J-Mac?
One of the good things about this watch along is the fact that we're actually just going to bring the stuff up, which is lovely. Unlike normal watch alongs where we have to get you to watch it on a different screen because of copyright issues about this episode, we just don't care. This is a free for all. So enjoy the fact that we can all watch it exactly the same time, and I don't need to wear a timer around my neck. So
hey, you've stopped doing that anyway.
I know, but I thought I'd mention it. I'm going to start doing it again though.
Class, because that was class. I think there's even a wee piece of art in there that would be pretty cool to have you with a timer, like a t-shirt with J-Mac with a timer around his neck.
I would never do it on a plane, like.
mate,
please
see that,
please, just once.
see that little Matthewman design with a Kool-Aid. I see you like that, right? But with a timer around your neck. Saying the jibber jabber watch along.
No joke.
Jay the time machine, Mac.
See, just on that note, I remembered something today actually. I remember, like, it's a different section again. I'm going off on a wee slight tangent, but watching movies at the wrong time. I remember watching a movie about the World Trade Center on a plane.
Yeah, that's
of all the things you put on for the entertainment for a plane, that wasn't one of them.
Mate.
But
when
good movie. Don't get me wrong, it was a good movie. But it was just one of those things. I was like, I remember watching that. Like, hang on, that happened.
When my wife was, I think maybe 12 or 13, she was on a cruise with her mum and dad. Guess what the movie was in the cinema on the ship?
Jaws.
Oh, shit.
1997, Titanic. Epic choice for a cruise ship.
Dang.
But it was still popular. Like everybody was flocking. She spent the whole day in the cinema. Apparently, just watched it over and over and over again. Her mum and dad had to go and find her at 2:30 in the morning.
Nice. Matthewman says, apologies for the Backstreet Boys, by the way. Phenomenal edit. I'll need to bring it up. And that's a
There you
better
go.
rendition, apparently, from the last one. Typheron says, jump scares abound. Well,
I
don't know if
love
it'll be
when
jump
Ty
scares.
Ferron comes in. I love this guy.
He's to the point. He's brilliant. I hope he's got a podcast. Right, guys, here we go. You can all hear fine?
Hi, Kieran.
Yeah?
Hi, Danny.
Yep.
A parapsychologist who spent 15 years hunting the ghost hunters. Fake history. Forget science for a minute.
He's hunting the
you
hunters.
as an ordinary bloke.
Yeah.
Are there any genuine mediums? Do you believe in this at all?
I'm open-minded to the possibility. I haven't come across a genuine medium.
That's
Because
us.
I want
That's
to know
us.
beyond any
He was
doubt.
most haunted resident parapsychologist for many years.
Uh-huh.
So, I've got
Really
here
interesting
I like
guy.
him. I like him.
Yeah, yeah.
which I've printed
We
off
like him.
official-looking
We
chocolate
like him.
factory pamphlets.
A
The
pamphlet.
story has also spent the past week posted on the theatre's website, and I've even hung a picture in the foyer of the factory's fictitious first manager, the fat, aggressive, and ruthless George Bull.
So
Oh, I remember
this guy
this.
wrote the
He
pamphlet,
was
wrote the
maimed,
website,
his
and
legs
did that.
cut off in an accident. He was supervising a delivery here at the chocolate factory and getting very impatient at the delivery man, took the last crate, threw
Was
it
he,
on
aye?
the floor, the resounding crash, and that startled the horses that they ran off, and the cart
This is all
basically
made up.
rolled over his legs and also killed him in the process.
Good sound effects, though.
Earlier, I invited
Yeah.
3 mediums to a one-time
I mean,
Victorian
part of the
chocolate
Twilight
factory
Zone.
where they all channeled the name George, an evil fat man who was the factory's first manager.
She's given me the name of George.
And I've got the name George. It's George.
It was George. Yeah.
The only trouble is that George is part of a made-up story that I planted on the chocolate factory website a week ago.
I feel like he was quite angry about something as well.
I think they might be cheating, and I'm curious to see if they'll repeat any more of my fake history. Will they give me more bull in the form of George's made-up surname? And what of the terrible accident when he lost both legs to a pair of stampeding cart horses in the factory loading bay?
Oh, it's very busy down here. Very, very busy. I feel like I'm on a race course here.
Do you?
Watching
aye?
horses go
Right,
up
pause-
and
pause
down.
for a second if you can.
Yeah, watching horses go.
And this is the thing that really gets to me about psychics, especially nowadays, is the fact that as soon as they find out where they're going, they just Google it. It's easy to just remember a few of the kind of main stories about the place and remember a couple of names and pass yourself off as a psychic. It's crazy. The only way you could get around that is to have them wear a black bag in their head and you pick them up and take them where you're going. So aye, giving somebody, like especially like if they're driving themselves there, do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Um,
Janice says, have y'all heard of Chip Coffee? I think he's a pretty decent as a medium.
No.
Not heard of him. Definitely will look
it's a
at him.
great name though.
I know. Speaking of great names, Typheron says, if you will excuse my language, they're full of pish. They're full of pish.
I think Ty Ferron's made his mind up already. It's just started, mate.
It's happened.
Just
It's
started.
happened.
What gave it away? The name George Bull. Here we go.
Yeah, because the horses are not very settled. They're moving about. So he may have got kicked by a horse. He went down. It was the horse that put him down in some way.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure about that.
I think to really get to the bottom of this, it would be great if you could go into a trance.
Oh, remember.
Okay, I could probably go into semi-trance, but not a full trance.
She can only get a semi class.
Oh,
George, did
dear.
the horses hurt your legs? Yes or no?
That's exactly what I look like when I've got one as well.
She did.
Astonishingly, Goldie has actually summoned the ghost of my made-up factory manager. Almost complete.
Oh,
You okay, Goldie?
sorry.
You okay?
Yeah, I think so.
What I'd be really interested to get out of this is some surnames, if possible, to try and kind of pinpoint these people.
Okay, she's giving me bull, dog, bull, dog.
So what's his name?
I've got George and I've got bull.
Goldie researched my internet story.
God, she's good, guys. Come on.
Seems to be relying solely on squeezing me for information.
Is that not the guy for the Else Have Eyes?
Surname for George at all?
Surname doesn't begin with G, does it?
No.
So, I've decided to show him the fake manager's portrait I planted earlier that conveniently has a name plaque, George Bull.
George.
So it'll just take long enough to say it, they'll believe me.
George.
George.
You getting a name for me?
I mean, was he eating during that? Typheron says, I am open to the possibility of people being able to do this. I just think most people who advertise they do are after attention more than anything. Well, attention and the Benjamins, right? Janice says, Lo, I think they should not be told where they're going and blindfolded until they reach their destination, their
Yep,
final destination.
Exactly what I said, Janice. That is that's the only way to do it. The
Stop
only way.
copying off me! Stop copying off me!
No, look at me fucking notes.
Typheron says her Google foo skills are second to none. Everything else is bull.
Oh, Google foo, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
I said
love
that, right? Watch this, right? Listen. Something's happening here, right? You ready for this? Watch this. Google foo. Oh, her Google foo.
What?
Oh, my wee Hey Google thing went off when I said Google foo. And now because I want to show you, it's like, oh, son. It's like I'm staying stum.
Man,
It's like
it's
my dog-
getting the old Google thing's getting cleverer, man. It knows when you're
Mate,
taking the piss out of it, unlike
it's
these
just-
fucking psychics.
It's like my dog. I go like that. Do 40 backflips. It does 40 backflips, runs around the room. Somebody comes in, I go, paw. And she's like that.
Absolutely.
Hey, no,
Very
sometimes you
much.
can't separate. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry, no. What were you saying?
Second name.
It's all right. It's past. It'll no work.
You sure? Oh, okay.
It
Sorry,
was.
mate.
That's what I got.
Is that the guy
Yeah,
that you've been
yeah,
channeling?
yeah,
Yeah, you sure?
yeah. Positive.
100%?
Yeah, 101%.
101%.
101.
That is very sick.
Without any help from me, Philip
think
has
that
already
medium might be
identified a
dead.
fat, angry manager called George who had an accident. And I'm curious to see if he's prepared to confirm the details contained in my fake history leaflet.
Chin
You
though.
seem pretty sure that the George you got is this guy, George Bull.
Yeah, I'm sure. But as I said, if we can get an earlier picture of him, it might confirm it even more.
But in your heart, you're sure?
Yeah. And it felt like the owner of the place when I linked in with him.
Why? Because you
This
found him on
description feels- 'cause
LinkedIn,
I
yeah,
felt
again.
quite- Go on.
I found him on LinkedIn.
History here is entirely made up. And that picture is just a random picture we
He's
found
just told
and
him.
we stuck a little name tag on it that's made up. George Bull is an entirely made up name.
Okay.
He looks like
We
Steve-O.
chose the surname Bull for a reason.
Doesn't sound like
It's
Steve.
all
though.
entirely made up.
I know.
Okay.
Dead.
Okay.
I want to break the news to Goldie, but she's done such a good job of retelling my fake story. I've decided to put on a special treat for her.
What a dick.
A reenactment of George Bull's tragic accident.
Is he okay?
I've been kicked by horses.
Get out!
Nice chariot. As fair as the horses.
Yeah, the horse.
Goldie, is that pretty much what you saw out here?
Over there, yeah. You're in the wrong place.
Is that what it was like there?
Yeah. It was more down the bottom legs, though.
Goldie, can I tell you something?
Yes, sir.
All the things that you channeled today, like George Bull, the American manager.
Yeah, you're going to tell me that it's got nothing to do with it.
Well, I have to tell you, that all came.
Oh,
from a
she is
story
psychic. She's seen
that
it
I
coming.
made up
She's really
with the help of a parapsychologist, and we put that
You
up
put
on,
it, yeah, I
on
know.
the website.
Congratulations.
I know.
And did you read that website?
No,
So how did you know all these facts?
a friend of a friend.
But I mean, are you still pretty certain about the George
What
Bull?
a vague,
yeah.
I'll be
awful
honest.
answer.
I chose the name Bull for a reason.
'Cause it's-
Bullshit.
Shit. Yeah, no, I'm
Aye.
psychic.
Oh, no,
And
I'm
you-
sorry.
Don't make you be psychic to work that out.
Kevin clearly didn't research
He's
my
going to get
story,
smashed off
but he's
him,
been
though.
happy to pump me for information and has confirmed
any
the identity
stones?
of the fictional George Bull. But will he be able to spot George's killers?
Do you think you'd recognise these horses if you saw them?
I probably would, yes, I would do.
Kevin,
Where are they?
is that the horse?
Yes, that's the horse. Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Or is it that one?
No, it's neither of them. Go on.
Yeah, baby.
This history that we've got here is all made up.
That's made up, you sure?
Yeah.
You positive?
Yeah, I got someone to write that.
Check it.
I got someone to write that and then put that on the Chocolate Factory website.
So where do they get ball from then?
Well, I think probably
That's what
from a
I
name
wanna know.
plaque on it. But
I didn't see a name plate. I can't see it because I need glasses.
yeah.
You've
How did
also
you
got
look
to
down? Know where it
remember
was then?
that when mediums link,
Can see it on the other
telepathically
side, but
with
can't
the
you see in front of
mind
him?
of
Class.
spirit, we also link with your mind. So if you've got this information running through your mind, I could pick it up from you as well.
So it's my fault.
No, I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just saying that everything happens for a reason, and maybe this is a lesson for me as well.
Okay. Well, I guess it's
Yeah,
a
to
lesson.
give up.
Yeah.
You basically retold the whole story
Yeah.
that we wrote.
My guy told me before I came here that I was going to be tested, and I said, fine, then we'll test one another.
So does that mean that you cheated?
I did. For most of it.
Do you think what you've done tonight will make people believe more in psychics or less?
Less. Oh, no, more.
How much truth did we get tonight?
Wow.
You probably got about 30%. I think,
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit about it being called the Chocolate Factory.
Wow.
I don't think it was ever a chocolate factory.
That's the one thing it was, Goldie, I'm afraid. It was the Chocolate Factory.
Was it?
Yeah, you see, you've even got the truth wrong.
Yeah, I know.
You've even got the truth wrong.
Well, you look good. I'd
I
stay
feel
in
it's
it if
silly.
I were you.
I feel a bit silly, to be honest.
I'd stay in it if I were you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you, Kevin.
So it's a pleasure.
Richard
Okay.
Dawkins.
Good luck.
Cheers. Bye. See you. Oh, this. Oh, yes. Okay. See you later. Bye.
Okay, well, thanks, Philip.
You're very welcome. Take
Bye.
care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Owned.
Well, I think all our mediums were really good. Good at doing research, good at telling stories, and good at repeating everything I said. What they weren't so good at was contacting spirits. And whatever you think about ghost hunting, you cannot get away from the fact that all our mediums contacted a ghost that we entirely made up.
Do you know the annoying thing is though, like there's always going to be somebody that's like, yeah, but you made him up, so therefore that made him real, and that's how I was able to. And that's the kind of argument that people would end up having.
Absolutely. Typheron says, apply scientific method to this. They're going to fail. Also, X-Files tune for the win. Absolutely, mate. That is banging.
Couldn't help
So
but whistle along to it.
Here's the thing, though, right? So let's flip it around a little bit. So if I am a bit of a prankster, a type of Sacha Baron Cohen kind of guy, and I want to make mediums look shite, saying that I believe mediums not to be real, I could hire 3 really shite mediums that you know are no good, with no credibility, that are going to Google it and use them to blanket every other medium.
The one thing I would say about that is, see the guy, the Hills Have Eyes guy.
Yeah.
He was on Most Haunted more than once. So like he's like he must have had some kind of reputation for them to bring him on.
And the woman, I've seen the woman do a couple of things as well. So I think it's the same premise. I don't think they are no one. I think they are somebody that's got at least a bit of background.
Janice just wrapped up the whole show.
Straight to the point.
That was stupid.
For me, I don't know. I mean, Kieran, you put me onto a book that I actually rather enjoyed with Corey Taylor, and it was the book that he talks about his spiritual happenings. And he's someone that essentially tells stories through songs. He's someone that has a real connection to his audience. So I don't see him as someone, again, I could be wrong, but I don't see him as a bullshit artist. Right,
Yeah.
because bullshit artists don't make it to where he's made it, because that's substance. It's substance, artistic substance that gets you there. So for him to put out a book and be like, I've had these experiences, and for them to not be real, it's not the kind of guy that you expect to do that. So it kind of holds some credibility. Let's look at it and the whole. So many people have spoke about experiences throughout the ages of time, right? I just think maybe not as many people are able to or have had the experiences, and all these people claiming to be able to do it and claiming to have had experiences kind of waters it down and makes it seem more uncredible.
Mhm.
I think the issue is that so all three of us have seen something that we couldn't explain, or been, or or experienced it, or been around it, or
experienced
whatever.
it.
So you're
Mhm.
always craving to find an explanation, and then
Mhm.
somebody can come in and give you a very brief explanation that's going to spark your interest, and then you will wholeheartedly believe that
Mhm.
because you're craving that response to something that you're unable to explain. And I think that's
Mhm.
why there's so many conglomerate mediums that are able to get to a certain level without actually having any credibility, because it's the
Mhm.
hopeful idea of people that gets them there
Yeah.
rather
Mhm.
than
Yeah.
actually being able to do the job.
I think
Yeah.
like if you're a person who books a ticket to go and see a psychic medium do one of their shows, one of the live readings, you have to put in your name, your address, your credit card details to book these tickets. The information's there for them to just go out and go on Facebook, find out who in your family's died recently, because everybody puts that on Facebook now. And then you've got a reading. There you go.
You know,
Um,
what was that movie that came out not too long ago? And it basically explores that. Who was it that was in it again? And the guy goes and he becomes very smart at reading people, and he makes it all up, gets all rich, and then he gets outed
Oh, I
and
don't know.
becomes. Oh, what was it called? Anybody that's listening that may remember. I watched it and I thought it was actually quite good. It's a Del Toro movie, the latest Del Toro movie.
Is it something Alley? Nightmare Alley or something?
That's it. That's it.
Is
You're
it
right.
Nightmare Alley?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't look this up.
Bradley Cooper. I haven't seen it yet.
That's it. That's it.
Well, there you go. Here's a watch along.
Watch that, by the way, because it explores very fascinating. It explores the art of yanking folks' chain for monetary gain.
What?
This is actually I was gonna put this in, but for starters, this would actually probably get shut down, just because of the size of it. But Darren Brown,
Mhm.
who I wholeheartedly love,
Yeah.
he did a special
I remember
about basically the same premise about reading people, and it was like a medical thing,
it.
like how to heal people, like medicinal healing people, but it
Mhm.
was all bullshit. And he was upfront with everyone at the very start, like, this is all fake, it's all lies, but
Mhm.
you're gonna believe me.
Yeah.
And the whole show is incredible, and it's basically the same idea, but all it is just reading people's core movements and adjustments and things like that to get the
Mhm.
response.
Yeah, absolutely. Sarah Ann Carr says most haunted was Pants. I watched one episode once and they brought some random guy on from the audience. Was the worst episode I ever think. Which brings me to my
I think that was the one that I was in. I think she's taking the piss.
you were on Most Haunted.
No.
Which brings me to my next one.
Oh no. You absolute son of a bitch.
Outstanding.
Thank you for the link there, Sarah. Thank you for the link.
For anybody that thinks this is actually me, it's just a baldy guy that looks a wee bit like me. He's even got a different name. It's not me.
TV exclusive.
Here we go.
Paul O'Grady in Venice. It's shocking.
Let's have a look.
The good thing is I don't think I'm going to show up for quite a while. Oh my god, something touched me head.
Love Paul O'Grady. Absolutely
That
love
is
him.
class.
So this is 10 minutes long. Let's get to the good bit.
And uncover its dark and gruesome history as they search for evidence
Oh, here we
of
go.
life after death.
This is a long, full-length episode. We'll just get to.
That's us.
I love that you know where it is as well. You know exactly where it is.
I can't believe you had this prepped, you dick.
You can't believe it, I.
This is what the young'uns call so cringe.
Sarah Ann Carr says, "Oh my God, Kev, you're psychic. You knew I was going to comment that, so you picked that one. Ha ha ha." What can I say?
rich in paranormal potential. We had an amazing night here last
I don't
night,
get
the first of
embarrassed
an
easy, but
eight-night investigation. We're looking for 8
There
faces
we
of
go.
evil, and last night we were ably assisted by 2 very gallant members of our audience.
Dofer.
They helped us with the
Even
visual
Heather.
and investigation after last
I
night's
am
show.
always amused
Under
that
the expert eye and
in most
protection of our
haunted,
paranormal
they visit the
investigator, Phil
whole,
Wyman, and
they visit a
Mark
wild
Stewart,
bunch of
assist them
places
through
that
a perilous
have
journey.
working electricity
Here's
and
what
never
happened.
bother turning on the lights. Spot on. Here we go. Who's this guy? Who's that guy? Who's that guy?
There's a bit where I'm standing like this. I'm like, ooh, watch. Can you give us a bang, you dirty bitch?
Is someone coming up them stairs there?
What are you grabbing?
It's like in this room.
Yes! It's J-Mac crossed the prison break, I think.
That's Wentworth. That's Wentworth.
Do you know, I did used to get that. Phil Wyman, love that guy. Look at that goatee.
Squeezing the life out of me here.
Come on, if there's anybody up here with us, please try your best to show yourself to us. We're not here to harm you at all. We're not here to judge anything you might have done.
That is amazing.
Talk about hogging the limelight, eh?
Right.
That's just J-Mac. I think I'm seeing things in my shut.
I've just seen a shadow.
I'm seeing things. Right? I'm out.
It's me throwing stones and everything. Bring it back, mate. Bring it back.
Did it throw it back, aye?
It did, mate. Aye.
Aye, so it did.
Well, somebody did.
Whoa! No, just a noise.
The stone.
Right.
It's a fucking stone.
Shut her up, man. Honestly.
Aye. So that was my 2 minutes of fame.
I do want to say a couple of things about Most Haunted.
I just leave it there, Kev. Cheers.
Yeah, what were you saying, Kieran?
I'm waiting for the fabulous image because we can't not.
Where did it go? There's one of them. Just
main
oh,
screen. There we go.
There it is. Oh, of course she had to get her nib in. There we go.
Yeah, just leave it like that.
Let's see if I can still do that face, right?
Right, that'll do. Right.
Look at that.
I look like
a ghost.
I look like a fucking thumb.
You look like the real version of Casper the Friendly Ghost.
That's me. That's me.
Dofer says, "Did you do a Ouija board on that J-Mac?"
No, it was literally just that, just having a wander about and
throwing pebbles,
asking things to tap 4 times because it came out funny.
You did say that 4 times, like you were
4 times.
You were from the Clan MacLeod.
I'm actually. I am of Farquharson of MacLeod. I am in the Clan MacLeod, so get it right.
I'm jealous.
So don't get me wrong, man. I had such a fun time doing that. I really, really did. It was an absolute hoot. But I've been disillusioned by the program since then because of their blatant fakery that has been caught on camera by their own cameramen by accident. It's pretty good.
The thing is, like, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, first off, I love the whole night vision thing, the whole green screen. I think it looks awesome. But like I've started listening to Yvette Fielding's podcast because I've got too many hours in a day, so I needed something to time me out. But I'll be honest, it's actually very, very good. And she has Carl on quite a lot, so that's her husband. So they two are on quite a lot, and they are very open about all the stuff that was caught. There were, and they're very like, look, after all that, all these people got fired. We got rid of them. This is not what we wanted, which is what you would do if you want to sustain a business. But it's
What about when Yvette did it herself?
They never bring that one up, funnily enough. They don't. But that's the thing. So I think it's really interesting that they're trying to defend it, and they've continued because they still do shows. They still do shows, but their podcast is good. I'll say that.
Right.
Not so much the latter stage of the show, but the people they talk to and stuff is brilliant. But afterwards, it kind of went downhill.
Wee Doubtfire says, ha 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 ha. I actually really enjoyed watching it when it was on TV, and the way they faked crap ruined the moment for you, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Definitely. Most definitely. Well, we go on to the next clip, which is quite a mad one.
That one there, was that a wee impromptu one?
You tell me.
In fact, no. No, Kev was like, "Oh, we're going to do one about psychics and that." I'm going to embarrass the fuck out of you, Matt.
if ever there shall be a chance, there shall be taken. Here we go. Corey Feldman with spot on reading from Hollywood medium Tyler Henry. Now I wonder if he's going to go straight to Corey.
Why is he dressed as Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson. Because Corey Feldman thinks he's Michael Jackson, has done since the 80s. Also, why is he sitting with Bill Skarsgård? I didn't know he was a medium.
That guy actually looks a bit like the snooker player Mark Selby. I don't know if you guys maybe not recognise,
but who he is.
He also looks like the new Vecna character from Stranger Things season 4.
I've just finished episode 2. 0 spoilers, please.
It looks like that in real life.
I've not seen any of Stranger Things.
Oh, mate, get on it.
I want to. I do want to. I just haven't seen it yet.
Please do.
Any of it?
None of it.
He will.
Damn.
He will.
I know.
Matthewman says, always hated how tame it was. If you're going to fake it, fucking go for it. True. He's got a
go all in.
Typheron says, I enjoy Most Haunted in the same way I enjoy American wrestling. I know it's game, but it's fun to ignore that during it. Aye, suspend the disbelief.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Suspend the disbelief.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And why can't we? Okay,
Phil Wyman, who appeared in that clip, he's got his own show on Amazon Prime now. Oh God, for the life of me, I can't remember what it's called. Are You Haunted? It's called, and his show his show is good. They fake nothing. They find very little.
They find nothing,
but because they're not faking it, they don't find a lot. So when something does show up that's a bit unusual, it's definitely more credible. They don't spend too much time fucking about with Xbox Connect cameras and stuff like that. They basically go in and they record and they just say what they're feeling. It's not overly technically advanced, and I think that one thing that we've proven, even between the three of us, is that I think it's pretty unlikely that any kind of equipment is going to catch anything of significance. I think we are the ultimate tools for finding things that are of the other side.
Absolutely. I mean, look how many podcasts we've done. We're well over 160 episodes, and yet never have we had a ghost on any of them. Sick! But maybe, hey, maybe. Okay, Corey Feldman. So, absolutely mental. So, some guy had a spot on his head hitting you.
You're what? Fuck off. You're watching.
Sarah Ann Carr says you're the ultimate tool, J-Mac. You're right. Lol.
I kind of walked into that one like a big tool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, stuff like that. Like you've got an actor who's been desperate for work for the last 20 years, going on a show about a psychic that supposedly does readings. You're not telling me that wasn't all pre-organized.
Remember that time we were almost going to work with him in another life. So we'll that one was quite a washout, that one. So we'll go straight to the next one. Here we go. Psychic medium Christopher Allen. Did someone not bring him up? Chrissy Allen.
Nope.
No. Maybe
not my knowledge.
Why did I think that?
Because you're psychic.
Dun dun dun.
Here we go.
Psychic medium Christopher Allen, keeping the spirits alive. Jesus Christ.
That's David Coverdale for Whitesnake.
Cancer also supposed to bring up like the female.
Oh, it can levitate. Look, this guy's the real deal.
Cancer.
Yes.
Anybody here have a grand?
The 15th of
And
a
she
month
did.
is also a significant birthday anniversary for you guys.
Shazam.
They also want me to say mom, that's crossed over. So mom's also passed for us.
My mom.
Yes. So they just want me to make sure I
Well,
get
yeah, she looks like she's in her
There it is.
70s, but yeah.
Gotcha.
I know.
So you have a
Another
son?
thing is, like, see if you're a
Do you know why
psychic,
I'm
why do
seeing
you ask
Bob
questions
walking
instead
around
of just give answers?
Yeah, exactly. You should know.
J-Mac, you know this one I know.
Have you ever found yourself ever going to the Southwest, like Colorado or?
Yes, I moved to Colorado in 1991.
Okay.
With my son.
With your son. He also wants me to bring up little vials of ashes are connected.
Yes.
But he wants me to
Jesus.
bring up. You know why I'm seeing a world of like reclaimed wood, or somebody who just like hung like a giant shelf.
So we're building a
What, you
home.
mean somebody put
out,
up a shelf? Bloody hell.
and we have reclaimed wood that we're putting up.
And is somebody have like a Superman tattoo, or is there somebody also connected to like? Oh, that's me. Dad wants me to mock you with.
Guy's been on Facebook, man. I'm fucking telling you.
Well, you mean the T-shirt
Do you
showed
have
a
your
tattoo,
father's
and you
keys?
just guessed
I
it.
have my father's keychain on my feet.
That's what he wants me to bring. Right now?
Yeah.
Take it out and let's see it.
Do you have boobs? Yeah.
Just
Break them up.
It's on the keychain. So very cool. Just as a way to validate this is him and
Shazam.
those things take. Because if the physical presence isn't there anymore, it's the memories, it's the little things that are going to
Come
last us
on.
a lifetime.
Come
Your
on.
son is
Oh,
okay.
no, I've done fire
He doesn't want
lanterns.
to
They
be
things are
remembered
awful.
about being sick. There was a kid named Tommy, I think, that used to be this reoccurring guest on Oprah, and your son shows me him.
His name is Thomas.
Gotcha. Some kind of like memorial walk.
We've done that. Yeah.
You
we-
saw
in honor
on
of him?
Oprah.
So
You know,
that's what he wants from Brim.
pause it for a
I'm
second.
walking with you when you're
Why
walk
is
for
it?
me.
Yeah.
Why is it that when ghosts go over to the other side, spirits go over to the other side,
Mick
they
Jagger.
they decide that when it's when it's time to communicate, they're going to do it with symbolism.
Exactly.
It's like, tell my mom I fucking love her.
I know.
Right? It's like, oh, he's shown me like roses. He's shown me some water. We used to love the beach, and my favorite flowers are roses, as are most women. So, you know what? Piss off. I'm
know
not.
what as
I'm
well?
just buying none of it. Buying
The
none of
guy's,
it.
the guy's like this. You know what? He's pointing to me to this kid that was on.
Kev,
Oprah.
you've got a microphone you can hold.
No, this is I'm being him. I can't move with this. But he's keen at all this part of like. And we in the corner again. He's basically saying, "Oh, I saw this kid on Oprah." So chances are I saw her on Oprah, right?
Wow.
And they were promoting some sort of race that he's now talking about to Mick Jagger.
No, Keith Richards doesn't look too happy either.
Right next to her. And you got Sturgeon in the back.
That's no Nicola Sturgeon. That's every medical receptionist.
Totally, yeah.
Name.
Mate,
I want to see the
Bruce
doctor.
Jenner.
What's wrong with you?
It's also Bruce Jenner to the right of her. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
we shouldn't have
dear.
been that.
You just dead named.
I know.
Also younger
You know
brother,
he's
also
probably a
passed
fucking
away for
billionaire.
us.
Definitely.
Okay, like we lost the son, we lost the nephew.
Son.
Okay, go to like a kiosk in the mall where they take like these like stainless steel things, and they can put like an image on the person. Your son lost me to burn. Who's got that?
We all have them.
Is it printed with his face on it? Oh shit! Who is it? I don't know if there is a picture with writing on the back of it or attaching it on the back of picture frames. Do you know what he's talking about?
Look at this guy. He's like,
No, I'm not buying this.
look at that.
Wait, is that Brad Dourif?
Dude, it's Meatloaf. Come on. But that's like, honestly, that's like me sat in a crowd and somebody going, "Oh, I feel like there's something to do with rings."
Wow. If there is
The
a
rage
picture
is real with this
writing on
one.
the
It
back
was.
of it or attaching it on the back of picture frames. Do you know what he's talking about?
Like,
Yeah, I have a picture. I took a picture with you today.
Like anytime you see a guy at any of these things, they've been dragged along. You know,
Absolutely.
very few.
Absolutely.
In fact, women love this stuff.
Season 11?
Without trying to sound sexist, women love the whole psychic and spiritualist stuff.
Birthday's coming up this week, June 11th.
I'm loving the guy to the
Want
side.
program
though.
somebody's known for having some kind of constructive surgery.
Jesus, she's got a 5 head.
Ryan, I'm gonna kill you.
Danica Cola.
Eggy Pop!
But there's Tom Petty at the bottom.
What's going on here? What's going on here?
You got Iggy Pop, Vince McMahon, Tom Petty.
Okay.
They're all actors, I'm telling you. There's no way they all look like who they all look like.
And the psychic looks like every bad guy for Taken.
What?
Oh, he's loving life.
Although we are always
That's Todd Surprise.
the other side isn't just about healing. It's about remembering life is to be celebrated, not mourned.
Pause that again just for 1 second.
You have to be quite,
you.
it shows you quite morbid to have a career where you just make people cry.
I know,
That's-
but that's the thing though. Can I like the power of these people to even get people that don't believe in them to cry? Like, see when we had that fucking nutter on, the guy that thought he was God or the closest thing to God.
Yep.
Like when I was talking to him and I was asking him questions, I found myself getting upset at the stuff he was saying to me. But I don't know if it was out of anger or if I was actually starting to believe him. I think I might have just been angry. But aye, oh, like genuinely.
Nice.
Got a line under that one.
Aye.
Nice.
I think perhaps for me, I thought you were more upset because you were talking more so about your own family and kind of delving into that a little bit. Almost kind of felt therapeutic for you. Janice says, "I vote for anger. He was a nutcase." See, hey, Janice remembers. Hey, Janice remembers.
She does. I mean, he's very memorable.
Aye.
he's-
Heather says. In fact, you read it, J-Mac.
Never seen any Stranger Things either. Maybe in hindsight, should have been my COVID binge. Aye.
Mental.
What did you watch during your COVID stint? I bet you watched crap.
I don't think
Like-
she watched in, and she was just she's working from her wee laptop, mate.
That's
I didn't
probably
watch
true.
in either. I didn't watch in either. I worked.
Have you seen that woman, Teresa Caputo?
Caputo.
No, I haven't, Heather.
I
haven't.
recognize that name, Caputo. Pardon me.
Aye. Well, in fact, for a second, before we watch our final video here, what experiences have you guys had with either a paid psychic or just someone that you met that was psychic or claimed to be?
Never had any. Well, not from like that thing that you had like when you were a kid and like somebody's older brother or whatever would be like, "Oh, you're glowing. That means you've got a guardian." They do that to freak you out when you're like 4 or 5 years old. Other than that, nothing. I've yet to have one. I do want to go see one, mainly because I'd love to get them to like not question them, but I'd love to be able to like, right, if you can tell me these things, I'll believe you. If I give you a question, you give me an answer, I'll believe you. Further, like the dude that failed with J-Mac. Same premise.
Failed.
See, that's the thing. This guy that claimed to be the closest thing on earth to God couldn't tell me answers to things that had already happened.
That's what I mean. So I'd love to like, if you can answer these things with an honest answer that I know is true, then I'll believe you. But up until that point, I'm out.
Yeah, Kevin, you've tried to convince me a few times to go and see a specific medium or go to a certain place that's got specific mediums, or maybe one.
I'm game for
I don't know.
I'm game for them.
Yeah,
I'd like the film.
I'm totally game for it. I just want to know what is it about this person that makes you think that they're the real deal.
Well, I went. Now, this is also the same guy that tried to gay me up a bit, right? Again, nothing against anybody's ways of
It's
doing
the Tash,
things,
mate.
right? And I'm not even one of these folk that's like that. I didn't care as long as you didn't try to get me, right? Even then, right? You can be into me if you want, by all means, right? Just didn't act on it, right? He's a psychic. You should know this stuff, right?
You want to wearing that shirt when he was talking to you?
No, it was actually mate. It was a tank top vest.
Yes!
It was roasting that day though. Absolutely roasting.
Has it got rhinestones on it?
It used to.
I don't know. It might just be the camera that's doing it, man. But it does look a bit like Bennett's vest.
Oh, that's what it does. No, it's just the camera. They're just dots.
Let off
Just
some
dots.
steam, Kevin.
So get this right. I went in because everybody was raving about it. It just opened up, right? And I'm not going to name what it is.
No.
Just because I'm not trying to slander the place. It probably doesn't even have him involved now. But I went there, and everybody that worked in there was really good. I went in and I was like, okay, what's this? You buy a cup of tea and a cake, and what happens is the guy or woman, because there's several people that work there, all very talented. Even the guy that turned out to be a bit iffy with me, right? He came, sat down after you enjoy your cake, your tea, right? And then what happens is you drink your tea and you leave the bag in it. He comes, he sits down, he goes, "Hi, nice to meet you," and he rips open your bag of tea, and he
Excuse
goes,
me?
he wants to rip open your bag, but he settles for the tea leaves.
So he
right?
teabags you.
Anyways, he goes in, he opens the tea bag and shakes the cup around. Now, credit where it's due. Very talented. If this person read a lot of stuff about me somewhere, I mean, the thing is, though, you just go in. I never booked, right? There's no way, or there was probably a way you could know if you're psychic, but we walked in off the street, straight in, read the tea leaves, and described my personality to a tea. I see what I've done there, right? Right, to a cup of tea. Describe my personality, right? And some of his words were, "You're the kind of guy that looks at everything like he's like, I'm getting CSI." He goes, in a flash of an eye, you already went with every possible outcome and scenario, right? Like that. It's like you fine tune everything you look at, and I'm like, aye. Because I know that, because it's actually a bugbear of some people that I know, like my wife included. She's like, you can't just take something at face value. You've got to overanalyze it, right? But the thing is, I'm usually
could do.
but the thing is, I'm usually right anytime I overanalyze something, right? So he explained all this to me, and then he was like, "There's a guy here." Now I don't think I've ever told this story, so I'll explain what he told me, and then I'll explain the story behind it. He goes, "There's a guy here," and he goes, and he looked at me and he went, "And you already know where he is." He says, "You're very much in tune with what's going on here." He's like, "But you already know that, right?" And I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, this is class, right? This could have just been him trying to be like, Mira, I'll tell you a few things, stay behind after," right? Could have been. But he was saying to me, he started then going, "You know those wee kind of flashy feelings that you get through your arms and stuff?" Like, he was talking to me about it, and I'm like, "Oh, he knows. Like, how the hell would he know anything to do with that? I barely ever talk about that to anyone." And I'm like, "Oh wow." So he's like, so there's someone here, right, who doesn't quite believe in this, but he's there. And I looked round at the door and I was like, and he was like, and he's like, "So you know where he is, right?" And he's like, "The person that's gone has very much," and see, when he's saying this to me, I got the exact picture in my mind of who it was. All he was saying was that, right? Very vague. And I got the exact picture in my mind. And he's gone like this. The guy's gone like that. And then he goes, this is what he said to me, shut you not. He goes, "The person that's gone, he went like this." Right, this is what he said to me. He goes, "The guy died. He crossed over like this, but everybody else thinks it was something else." Right? That's his words. Everyone else thought it was something else, but he actually went like this. And I'm like, and I'm now confirmed I know who that is.
Mhm.
And then I was like, this person, I said to him, I goes, "This person, I'm very shocked that they don't believe in this." Right? And he goes, "You are very shocked because you know he kicked about with the rock gear on, and you would expect him to believe in the dead based on how he went about." And I'm like, right? So let me just pause that for a second and give you a little bit of clarity. Maybe a year before this, I used to work in a supermarket chain, and a friend of mine who was quite an old guy, in his 60s, right? But the guy was felt young. You know, like you know someone that's in their 60s, but you're like, I could easily hang out with this guy outside work because he's just that sound of a guy and more on my level. And he was right into golf stuff. We used to talk about music. He was always like, we'll go fishing one day. And he told me the tricks and all that to go fishing and whatnot. We'd always talk about our favorite rock albums and stuff. And he would come in sometimes dressed like Edward Scissorhands because he was right into the goth kind of stuff. Well, he went home one night and died in his house. And I was quite gutted. I was like, oh no, that was my mate. And I was actually gutted. Went to his funeral, spoke to his family and all that. I felt quite a loss as a friend, right? Guy died. They all thought he'd died in a house fire, right? Because the house was on fire when they found him.
Not the same one.
I'm sorry, man, but
no. Repeat what I just said to the camera.
They all thought he died in a house fire because the house was on fire when they found
There's more to it. There's more to it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Right. He wasn't on fire. The house was, right? So what had actually happened is he went home one night and he had bought a new chip pan. He put his chips on and then had a heart attack and died and fell down while the chip pan was still on. So then that created a fire, which alerted people to come get him, right? So people thought that he died in a house fire, but he hadn't actually. It was actually a heart attack, and that ran through his family. That did. So it was like all the guys in his family had all passed to that, so it wasn't a shock. Now, correlate that to nothing was said on Facebook. They didn't know I was going in, right? Did people read that out of me?
Well, this is a prime example of one of the ones that we should actually look into.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
I'm up for going. I'm more
like Kieran said, I think the people that really put themselves out there to make a lot of money from it tend to be the ones that are taking the piss.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that genuinely try and use their gift, if we can call it that, for the good of people and comfort and stuff. If it's true, I'd love to look into it. I'd love to find one that I could think is genuinely above board. And if that place is still around, I'd love to go. And
yep, I'm more than up for going.
Let's do it. Sarah Ann Carr says, "I've been to that place, Kev."
Sarah, what did you think of it?
Yes, let us know, please, in the comments. Typheron says, "If you're doing that, you got to live stream it, or at least give us a breakdown afterwards."
I'll give you a full breakdown, one for one. And
we can even take a camera if they're up for that.
Yep.
We'll film it and play it on here. Even have them on afterwards as well.
Yep.
What if you drink tea? Do they? What if you don't drink tea? Do they have a way to read?
Your Pepsi bubbles are telling me.
That's a good question.
The Pepsi bubbles are talking.
You ever seen that joke, the Billy Connolly joke, where he goes into the shop that's all about incense and tea leaves and all these people, and he manages to convince a woman that he reads swimming pools, that he just waits till winter to be over and all the stuff that blows at the swimming pool, he goes and stands on your roof and reads it for you and tells you what it's all about.
Heather Benford says, "The one I went to just reads what's in the cup. You can have coffee, tea, or hot chocolate. Read the remnants of the cup." Sarah Ann Carr says, "I wasn't impressed with it." And why not, Sarah Ann Carr? Please do tell us before we head to our last video of this evening.
Yeah,
guys, I'm quite...
On you go, by all means. I was going to say, if you let us know where that is, James, I'm going. I'll go. Because it's really intrigued me, to be honest.
Well, I think it's like...
You'll need to Google if it's still going. Is it still going?
Yeah.
I believe so. I believe so. It's just it was quite the thing when it opened. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, they're so good!" And I'm like, "Oh, right, I'll see you. I'll see you." And I was like, "Oh my god!" But and you know, I have had friends go to other psychics. A friend, closest friend to mine, went and got a lot told to him that made a lot of sense. But then, you know, it all depends on whether or not you can see that as viable. Sarah Ankar says, they said, does the name Charlie mean anything to me? I have my son's name tattooed on my wrist. It's Charlie. It's lol.
But see that again, that's the same premise as like being able to read the person that's in front of you. Like,
Mhm.
like, and again, up until that point that you'd said about, you know, the whole bending over, holding your chest thing. Up until that point, I could have probably make an estimated guess at what your friends would dress like.
My friends.
Yeah, if I was to talk to you in the street, whatever, I would assume that your friends probably dress like me.
Okay,
You know?
let's do this. Let's do this, Kieran, right? To the best of your ability, right? Let's no, I know we know each other, so you know quite a lot of stuff about me, right?
Yeah.
But let's go further on. Okay, so my friends would dress like you, yeah?
I would guess so.
Yeah.
That's probably not true, but if I was to take a guess.
Well, I have some friends that are very much like you, and a lot that are very much like J-Mac.
Kev, I'm sitting right above Kieran, and we are both dressed the same. We've both got headphones on and a hoodie.
It's quite hard, actually. It would be quite hard to ask you to analyze me because you do know me.
Yeah, and it's because, again, the reason why I would make that correlation, again, that might be because I know you, but I'm going with like the music scene and all that sort of stuff. So I would pitch that. Maybe not all dressed like me, like I'm a bit heavy metal kind of person, so maybe not. But I, you know, to say that your friends would wear the kind of rock outfit, that's kind of a fair game. I mean, to be fair, J-Mac, are you wearing swimming shorts? Because I am.
No, but I'm wearing shorts.
Am I the only one here with not his legs out?
He doesn't wear shorts in their own house. So that's...
Yeah, I do. Right, Kieran. Come on, show us.
Wait, no. Why the fuck are you wearing swimming shorts? They're the most uncomfortable things when you're not swimming.
A shark tattoo.
I thought it was something else.
Hayden. Nice.
Nice. Why wearing shorts? Because see the net in lining. See if you cut that out, they're comfy as hell.
The net etches. Yeah, well, get this right. See that very same day, well, I was in that cafe getting my tea leaves read. They read my wife's, and then they also said this to her. They goes, "There's someone here, and it's a baby." Right now, this creep you out. It's yep, it's definitely a sibling of your dad's. There's a sibling of your dad's here that didn't make it, right? And she's like, "No, that's not the case." She's like, "No, all my dad's siblings are alive. What are you on about?" She's like, "There's a child here who is your dad's sibling and passed." She's like, "Aye, okay." So we left. Her mum and dad were like, "Oh, so how did it go? What did he say?" "Dad, they said something about you having a sibling that died." Her dad's like that. She's like, "That's true. That's true. His mum had a child that was born dead."
Wow.
Oh, like a proper stillbirth. Like,
And
right.
and this was never told to my wife ever. And my wife was like, "What? You've never ever told me that?" I was like, "Oh yeah, it's not something that he'd ever spoke about, but it's 100% a fact." Now that person that told her that was spot on. The guy that said it to her wasn't like, "Oh, maybe I'm wrong." He was like, "There is." To the point she's like, "Ah, you're talking stupid." She's like, "Oh, that was my one. That one was quite crap. I thought it would tell me about people I actually know that's dead." Went and spoke to her dad. Her dad was like, "No, that's definitely true." And it was like, "Is it a boy?" "Yep, it's a boy." "Oh, knew the gender and everything." Now tell me this, right? From our experience, now you spoke to that guy and you're like, "Can you tell me?" And he's like, "No," right? that guy was certain. He wasn't like, "Oh, maybe I'm wrong." He was like, "There is someone here." And it is. And she's like, "No," because she didn't actually know. So he's not read that out of her because she didn't know. Right? And then he's adamant that it's the case. And then she's like, "Oh, that was a waste of time for me. Yeah, you got a good one, Kevin, but mine was crap." Went and spoke to her dad, and her dad confirmed it completely.
Why have you
Absolutely
never
confirmed
been
it.
back since?
Outed a
Because the
family.
guy tried to gay me up.
That's right.
That is a fairly decent reason to not.
I'm nothing against it. Just the way he was doing it was creepy and just gave me all the wrong vibes, and I didn't like it.
What was he doing? Oh, tell us again, Kev.
Oh no, no. To be fair,
Mate, you
some
most
bit-
haunted me on this fucking show. You can tell me how he tried to get you up.
No, it was basically saying, "Oh, you've got the gift and all that," and I was very interested to hear about how I've become really good at understanding it and all. And then he was just like drip feeding me like wee things that were like, "Oh, okay." For example, like, the same day he had me on Facebook and he's like, "How's it going? I just want to kind of see if you're looking to come along and we'll do workshops and all that." And I'm like, "Oh, that would be pretty cool." I was like, "So if you're saying I've got this cool gift, I'm up for definitely learning all about that. I'd love to be. That's a superpower, mate. To go up to someone and say there's somebody there that, and to give them that kind of reassurance. To me, that's a superpower." So he played on that, and then he was just like, it'd be like this. "All right, cool, mate. So that's fine. Aye. So, anyways, what you up to today?" And I'm like, "Oh, just watching my kids." "What about you?" "Going for a wank." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "All right." And he's like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to creep you out." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "Oh no, I've went and creeped you out, haven't I?" I was like, "Mm-hmm." He's like, "All right, cool." And I'm like, "All right." And then he's like, anyways, aye. And then he's like, "But we'll definitely work on your gift and that, because you're definitely got something." And I'm like, "Okay, well, what kind of, like, because I'm hearing that you can get like mediums and people that are healers and stuff." I'm like, "So what would you call me?" He's like, "Hot as fuck." I'm like,
And I'm out.
I was like, "Cool." I blocked. And I even was like this. I was like, "Right, mate, cool. Anyway, I'm going to go to the shop now." He's like, "Do you want me to come and give you a lift?" I was like, blocked.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
What a fucking dirty bastard, eh?
That's a bit much.
So I was just like, "No, I don't want to go back there."
Yeah, we're going back. So
I mean, I suppose I've grown a little bit. I look
he's
closer
probably
to.
he's probably finished his wank menu. So.
We got some comments here. The mediums change in there all the time for some reason. They can't keep the staff. Wonder why.
Wonder why.
Sarah Ann Carr says, "They said I sense you are a nervous person." As I say, biting my nails and bouncing my leg. One woman Heather Dowfer says, one woman I got who was actually amazing there was called Lorna. She's on my FB. She doesn't work there anymore, but does a lot of Facebook lives.
I'm not a
etc.
big fan of the Facebook Live psychic thing. I think it's a lot of shite.
Unless they're spot on. Drop her a message, Heather.
Well, aye, but they're on Facebook, so whoever's in there, they can just be quickly like, "Oh, there's a dead person. Let's mention it." So
nah, because you know how hard it is to multitask and keep a live shoot. Oh no, you know that's me. I'm just kidding. It's hard.
Sarah Ann Carr said they said the name John means something. The name John means something to everyone. In my family, there are loads. That's so true, by the way. It's like I'm getting the name John. It's like, mate,
it's either
Kev,
John, James, or Steve. That's it.
Yeah, Steve. No, Steve's a stretch. I think if somebody said Steve and I had an Uncle Steve, I'd be like, that's quite impressive. But John and James, Kevin, do you have any relative called John?
No, but my brother's called Steve.
Oh
Just
man,
'cause I'm psychic, guys. I'm sorry.
And Kieran, do you have any relatives called John?
Yes. And
Yes,
James.
I have many.
I've John and James. In fact, my two middle names are John and James. So
and Steve.
No, not Steve, but my two middle names are John and James.
What? There's some
I think it's time to own up to something, guys. My name's not Jordan. It's actually Steve James John. I think this is a big problem. Is the generations before us? Everybody had the same names. You know, there wasn't much in the way of variety. Everybody was a John or a James or a Stephen or a Michael, or
because you were always
whatever.
named after your father or your grandfather, or like it was a generation.
Like if they would come out and say something like, "Okay, I'm getting the name
Mortimer.
Skylar, anybody know Skylar? And somebody was there, was like, aye. I'd be like, right, that's impressive. But we
Yeah,
were like,
that's not bad
wishes,
going.
wishes Johnston the Third. I mean, that's quite spot on. Can you read the comments there, J-Mac? I like your cadence.
then everything else they said meant nothing, and they said they must be picking up another table and moved on. It's like fucking
Wow.
speed dating for deed folk. Brilliant.
Wow. Janice with another comment. J-Mac, go for it.
The first experience I can remember was after my brother and I were adopted when we were kids. I was 7. Oh, late adoption. That's a story. We were on vacation, and a Cherokee Indian chief told me that our brother and I, we were of Native American ancestry. He knew they weren't our biological parents. Okay, that's cool actually.
Janice, we
That's
need
kinda-
to hear
that's kinda
more about
cool.
this. We need to hear more about this.
I'm going to go down that route. Is it a skin tone thing? Without
Mm-hmm.
pushing, like, Native American Indians are, naturally more melanin.
Yep.
Where
Olive,
you adopted olive skinned.
Olive skinned.
Well fucking tanned.
And well tanned. Sometimes
Well
go
tanned.
quite big noses and all, but that's another thing. Ty
But,
Ferron.
like, in that sense, like, that
Ty
would-
Ferron! Ty Ferron!
Moving on.
Ty Ferron!
That's the kind of story that lends credibility to it all. Normally, I would consider the vague nature of it to be so the punter can believe it and get invested. Apart from the bizarre friend request, aye. Aye. Like, Kev, I have to be honest, man. Like, I think if I was gay, I'd probably try and gay you up.
Really? Thanks. Is it a gay thing? Do I have the gay thing going on?
The shirt, mate. I don't know.
Freddie Mercury Tash as well. I don't know if it's.
Go to me, put your hand up like that and say, "Who ordered the pina coladas?"
Who ordered the pina coladas, darling?
I would.
Aye.
Anybody else? This took a turn. I would.
Really did. It went dark. It went
Are
dark.
you two guys actually sitting there saying you
Just paying
That's
a
not
gentleman
on the
compliment.
Hang on.
Paying a
Anybody
gentleman
want
a
some
compliment.
Anybody want some old fashioned jibber jabber J-Mac noises?
A J-Mac noise. Thanks, Heather.
That was
for making my shit.
that was my spirit. A little bit of my spirit just left.
that was weakness leaving the body. Oh, Sarah Ann Carr says what?
I believe more in stranger things that's happened to me personally rather than some random person telling me stuff that's really creepy, and I think maybe something somewhere is trying to get my attention directly rather than through a random person. Sarah, please explain. You have never told me of these experiences, and I've known you for longer than everyone.
Than I have. He's known you much longer than me. Much longer.
I still remember going to see you when you were born. You had a wee scratch in your face.
Serian.
I don't know how that happened, actually.
We'll find out on the next episode of Jibber Jabber Podcast where we talk about sibling abuse. I'm only kidding. Right, let's batter through this one. Let's see what this is all about. Who was it that sent this one to me? You, J-Mac?
No,
that was
Kieran.
Kieran.
Aye. Right, let's see if this holds some gumption.
Finding lost loved ones, or
She didn't even come up for air, but everything she was saying was spot on.
Hi, I'm Mia Simone. I've been doing readings for about 10 years.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Schaefer. I have been an intuitive, or what they call a psychic medium, for the last 10 years.
I do a very unique
Since I
style
lost my job at Walmart.
that create strategies for people to help them create their future.
The way that I work with law enforcement, I get a phone call either from the family or the detectives or the FBI, and I'm basically on the phone with them leading search teams to help
Pause.
find.
Please pause.
I like to call my
That terrifies me that the FBI get in touch with these people. It really does.
That depends if they're credible, I suppose.
What makes them credible? What makes
can tell-
hey, this clip might prove it. So play on.
True.
Myself an avant-garde intuitive. I kind of stray away from the word psychic.
I fork hate the terminology that's been given to us. I have on my cards just intuitive. All these things that I can do, it's just an intuition.
Why does she look like Sly?
What would you like me to focus on? I want you to get the most out of it.
Family, maybe.
The family
maybe
thing came in
family.
first, actually,
Yeah.
for me. You're worried about
Of
one of
course
your
it did.
grandkids, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
One of them in specific, you're very close to, I feel like, that keeps coming up in your energy field. They might be going through something right now. And I do believe you even said the 16-year-old misses you a lot. And I also believe that this child has the gift. This child seems to get pictures or visions more, being an empath.
He doesn't talk about it.
He
if
doesn't talk about
does.
it.
He's very sensitive, though. So
He's precognitive. I think he feels things
But he
before they
doesn't talk
happen.
about it,
Let's
so how
switch
do
to
you
work.
know?
Okay, so work. Have you been doing podcasts? Are you thinking about changing a podcast?
that was like quite a while ago.
So I'm getting
that
something. Okay,
a
so if
couple
they're
years
showing,
ago.
they're showing me you by a mic.
Google Chain, you're
I
on
feel like you're
iTunes.
supposed to be doing more with your work, and by reaching more people, I think a
Seen you
podcast
done
would
one
help.
episode,
Is there somebody that
sure
you
were
wanted to work
looking at
with?
that one?
That was just really recently, and it was just like a 2-second text about somebody asking if I wanted to collaborate with him.
I think you should, but you're holding yourself back.
Aye, defo starting a podcast. This isn't two of them
No.
reading each other. This
No.
is we're starting a podcast, and this is how we started it. Right?
I'd love this clip to have been was just the two of them speaking over each other saying, I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Writing. Okay, that's what I
That
saw
would've been
before.
amazing.
Hold on. You've done a lot of writing before. Have you started writing?
I haven't done a lot of writing. I've been thinking.
Sorry, but do you know
about-
what this is, right, J-Mac? Right, we're gonna play a wee game here, and I say specifically J-Mac because he'll know what I'm talking about, right? Your class, right? Aye,
I'm
you got
definitely
me.
class.
I am class, and you should probably like be class on a higher scale, right? Right? Am I getting there? You are so
Yeah,
you are
right.
so
Yeah,
there.
yeah, right.
You're so there.
It's all right.
So if I went to www.amclass.com, I would find your new podcast, right? Right?
If I'm on your
Just so
if I'm on your
spot on.
podcast, you'd also find my links to my previous groups that I was involved in, and you'd
All
find
of them.
my links to everything. Everything's class. It's all class, and I'm class. Everything's class.
And you're currently writing a book about being class. That's right. That you can buy on Amazon.co.uk at $9.99 if you just follow the ad. That's right. That's what's going on here, right?
It's actually called the class of 2022 and 23, 24.
And I'm the
and I'm still class. Everything's class.
But isn't that just what's going on here right now? It almost feels like an ad. It feels like two psychics making an ad for shit.
I don't know. I think there's a reason that Kieran has sent this though. I think we need to give it a bit more time.
Have you watched all of this, Kieran?
I'm saying hee haw till you finish it.
Right. Okay.
It though, yeah.
You've been thinking about
Yeah.
it. I'm not going to make that fit. And you're also very precognitive as well.
Most of the time, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
That's your very.
I
you
name
know,
my company Prescience Life, and prescience is the art of knowing events
Knowing.
before they take place.
No, you're very good at that. That's
Sorry,
pretty
pause that
amazing.
just for 1 second.
I think this year's going to be a.
The way she did that was just like, I'm class.
She knew. She knew.
Great year for you. I can say that. Yes.
That's very reassuring.
Good.
Thank you. Okay,
That's
I'm going to
awesome.
ask you just to sit with your arms and legs uncrossed and
Yes,
just to keep
let's
your
just
eyes
have it.
open. And I
Take
think
a
I
finger,
like
right, so I
have
can
an idea
spell your
what I want
guff.
to talk about. Okay, go ahead and give me your full name out loud 3 times, please.
Jennifer June Schaefer. Jennifer June Schaefer. Jennifer June Schaefer.
What is this?
It's interesting because in your career, I feel like your mind is so investigatory, if that's a word. Because I think a lot of times you can figure things out through the power of deduction, and it seemed to be extremely accurate when you're making those observations. And I feel like a lot of your work and what you do is drawn from passion. It feels like it came from some type of loss. You tend to have very, like, what I call broadband telepathy of picking up the energy of groups. I notice you doing
Open your
that,
eyes,
and
Hen.
you have an interesting time and helping people, and it feels like it's a whole package of supporting people as well and understanding where people come from. And it looks like you had struggled a lot just in your life. I'm not sure if you're
She's actually said nothing
finding
in the last
loss of
minute.
loved ones or
Nothing.
murders, or I don't know what all of that, but you're about the whole being in service.
My sisters
of
are so
people
fucking honest
and
in this.
making sure that they're validated in a very
one's a banger.
appropriate way. It's interesting because I feel like there's, like, I'm getting the word empire. No pressure there. You're very kind, but that's not your weakness. There's a strength about you that is like, yeah, I'll smack you upside the head. So, like, don't mistake my kindness for weakness, because I think people draw you.
She looks like she's been elbowed upside the head 40 fucking times.
Sometimes it's hard to tell if somebody's had surgery or if they've just been beaten the fuck out.
If somebody just stood on them.
My kindness. First of all, she's absolutely amazing. Okay, I can see her all day. I have to validate all the stuff that you say. All my pro bono work has been working on cases, and then I thought, you know what? More eyes on the seen and the unseen would help me. And so
all my pro bono work. Pro bono is a term reserved for people in the field of law, and kind of doing defense work for accused criminals and stuff without charging them. Pro bono work as a psychic. Fuck off.
Kieran, is there
Honestly.
a punchline at the end of this?
No, what I wanted to show you basically was even to each other, they're full of shit.
Mate, we didn't need to see the ending of that.
No,
to
you
get
didn't.
there.
No, nah.
Holy
Basically, that's
shit.
what the premise was that even to each other, they'll use leading phrases that don't actually amount to anything. But if you're fishing for that answer in your head, any suggestive question will be like, oh, you're right. How did you know? Well, because I thought of this. Oh, man, you're amazing. That's the only reason. The premise was even to two other psychics, they still couldn't give a rational answer to anything.
I gave a psychic reading to a barmaid, right? This was when I left my previous job to come back to my other previous job, my current job. I had a night out with a couple of guys for work, and the night went on. But basically, we all ended up steaming. But we met a couple of psychics. One of them called himself the secret psychic, I think.
But he's running around telling everybody.
Telling everybody. Andy had a fucking business card to boot. Anyway, so basically, I got a kind of reading of this woman, and it was utter shite. And anyway, later on, we got talking to the barmaid, and she was like, "Oh, they come in all the time. They're really good. They're really good." I was like, "No, they're not. Both of them were fucking terrible." She was like, "Really?" I said, "I tell you what," I says, "I've got some abilities myself. I'll give you a reading right now." And I did, and I gave her a reading about, like, I said, "I've got a guy here." I said, "I think it's your granddad," because chances, like, she was like 35. Chances are her granddad's probably gone. So I think it's your granddad. It's like you're really close with him. He's like, aye. I was like, and I just made up any kind of random shit that could have been from anybody's childhood, and everybody's childhood is essentially the same when it comes to the grandparents. Do you know what I mean? They made you nice tea and toast. They did this and did that. She's like, oh my god, are you actually psychic? I'm like, no, they're all talking shite. I'm literally making this up on the spot. I've had zero training in this. I just know what they do. They talk shite.
And that's
most
the
of
day
them.
the music died. Margaret C. McKeag J-Mac. She's related to you, right?
Yeah, she is. She's my father's cousin.
So she's your like auntie cousin.
No, she's my second cousin, mate. That's how that goes.
That's your
all
cousin?
right, auntie cousin Margaret.
So Maggie is your cousin.
Was that?
Maggie is your cousin.
She's my second cousin. Yes.
Which one is it in the picture? Is it? It's not the one sitting down.
The one on the right. The one on the right is Margaret. The one on the left is Frances, and the one in the middle is their mother, who is also
nice.
Margaret. Margaret.
No way. So it's not the one in the
they're
blue
all
t-shirt then, no?
they're all the loveliest of people.
Oh, they seem it. They seem it. You can tell from a picture. Not the blue one, no.
It is the blue one. The
Oh, it
blue
is
one
the
is
blue
the
one.
Yeah.
Hi,
Well, she's
Maggie.
not blue. Her top is. If she was blue, this would be a very different podcast.
No, it would be the right podcast for her being blue. So
She
tell us,
said-
Maggie, why are you blue?
She said, "I've played with Ouija boards now and know there is something out there. I have also
shark.
been to a psychic who was a very old Native American man. He was spot on with everything he told me. He asked no questions of me. He asked to hold my necklace, and it blew me away with everything he knew." Well, this
She
is
looks
the
like she's in
thing.
America. That profile picture looks like an American picture.
Oh,
Is she
they're all in
American?
America. It's like enemy cake. Kevin's psychic. Look,
That picture to me is like American.
yeah.
Holy shit!
do
How
you-
did I know that?
It's because of the house behind them. It's got like cladding on it.
Ah,
We
but
don't
come
do that. We don't
on.
do that anymore.
It's even the way
Eh.
they're standing is like, hey, from America, definitely. Mate. Why did I know that? That's some shit. I'm putting that on
Psychic.
MySpace. I'm telling you.
But I tell you what, Kevin, you've actually got a gift, and if you've got time after this, I'll take you through it. You know?
I've been down that road before. It don't end well. I'll tell you that, man.
All I'm saying is, if you ain't got the shops, I'll give you a lift. It's fine.
Margaret,
So-
on the other hand, blue. You say?
Alrighty.
It'll be
So-
black and
so-
blue.
let me just clarify. I just want to be 100% clear here. I do not completely disbelieve in psychics. I'm not convinced by it yet. And that's scary considering how many there are supposed to be out there. I've
But
seen
then-
so many where you just go, you mate are talking absolute balls.
But then again,
Um,
we feed into the own thing, because the ones that we've seen, I'm totally on board with you. The ones that we've seen though are on TV. They're put themselves out there. They want the attention. They want the money. I've yet to go to them, so therefore I can't say that there hasn't been one that hasn't convinced me, because I haven't tried it yet. So
Do you know-
I agree with you. I'm in the same boat.
I think the only way I'm ever going to be convinced is if I'm just say at a petrol station or something, and I've pulled that lever for 3 seconds and seen £10 appear and I've shat myself, right. But if I'm like just doing something mundane, an everyday task, whether it be putting petrol in the car or like inspecting a lettuce for brown bits before I buy it, and then somebody just comes up to me and says, "This relative of yours, his name is such and such. He died at this time. He just wants to let you know he's all right." And then she just walks into the mist. That is for me what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for somebody that's trying to sell their services.
I just told you your blue auntie cousin lived in America, and you're no convinced.
No, I'm not convinced because that's an all American picture, boy.
I haven't seen any flags in there. Matthew Moon says, "I'm still on this is all shite side of the fence. Would love to believe this stuff though." I feel you, but Heather Dow says that's a movie right there, J Mac. Oh, aye. Maybe.
I mean, the filling up petrol thing.
Aye.
Aye, and then costing a tenner. That's not a movie, mate. That's real life. That's a real life.
Right, I'll tell you what. Between now and our meeting on Friday, I'll write that film. Right, I'll
It
write
has to
that.
contain a shark.
A paper mache shark. It has to be.
Right. In the next Paranormal Patter, we need to see your very short script
Yep.
on that, and then probably by the next week after that, Matthew Man will have illustrated it perfectly.
Yeah.
Douffer says, "Did Kev just meh me?" No. Why would I? Do it! Do it now! Ah!
Come on, do it!
And the lettuce
Kill
with
me, I'm
brown-
here! Kill me!
Well, it's been absolutely fun watching these clips, if there's anyone at home that has clips that actually are quite credible, and you think, hey, these guys they're made of the right stuff, please send them in. I'd be happy to do these again with more credible
There's one
mediums.
guy. There's one guy I'd love to get on here to do this, and it's a guy called John Edwards, not Edmonds. That's a different guy.
I mean,
John Edwards, very big in the 90s and early 2000s on American TV. I would love to get him on because I used to watch his stuff a lot, and I kind of believed him. But he's a very fast talking medium, almost like an auctioneer.
So to the man in the white hat.
That's pretty much him.
Just like that, aye. Yep.
Yeah. Sold to the man in the white hat who died 15 years ago. I'd love to speak to him. John Edwards is full of crap. All right, I don't need to talk to him anymore. Then that's fine.
Straight to the point. The jugular. Typheron Joy ZXQ says, if someone really had the ability, it would be a very personal and intimate thing, not something you're going to actually throw out there unless you really had to for a good reason. Mate, Typheron, right, just seems like, do you know, when Typheron's name pops up, I picture this man just sitting on a big stone throne, and he only speaks in like sentences. No, but he only speaks
like everyone.
He only says, it's like he chooses his words and he only says things with absolute great intensity and meaning. So it's like, I have spoken. That's who Typheron is to me, and I love everything he says. Typheron, tell me you've got your own podcast.
It'd be so gutting if we met Typheron one day and he's like some 14-year-old with hair over his face.
That would still be class.
That would be incredible. I think that would actually be more impressive. The fact that somebody who's that young has, because it's just his comments are like words of wisdom.
We've
got our very own Confucius. It's brilliant.
He is Confucius.
He
He's Typher Confucius. Peter Clark says, hello, I'm Typheron. I don't have a podcast. Prove it, Peter. I don't believe you're Typheron. You look like a Ghostbuster.
Hang on a minute.
Wait, hang on.
He is a
Typheron. Your name can't be Peter Clark. It can't be. I love Typheron.
Clark Peter. I don't know. This guy's Typheron. You're going to set
It's a
this guy
mixture
straight.
between Peter Parker and Clark Kent. It's entirely possible. Alter ego.
Prove it. Prove it, Peter.
I think he's
Tell
just
us
done it. I
say
genuinely
something.
think.
Sorry, guys, it's me.
Say something. Say something that
I think it's him.
Typheron would say.
That's Typheron.
I don't know. I don't know if that's Typheron. Say something that Typheron
You should know
would
because
say.
you're psychic.
Dude, I believe
It's
you.
totally him.
I believe you.
It's totally him. Colin Fry says Heather Dow.
Colin Fry totally reminds me. I mentioned it a few episodes back, and it was the Lemmy show psychic that he did.
Yep.
It's like, welcome to Parasite.
She's downstairs. Right, do you know what? To play us out.
The best line in that was he's like, she's downstairs, she's down there. And it's like, my mum was a saint. He's like, well, she's fucking done that, pal. You didn't put him down there for nothing.
Well, I'm going to play this because a lot of our audience here is not Scottish, so has never seen this before. So to play us out just before the old credits, I'm going to put it on. I don't mind about the copyright strike, guys.
Yeah.
Also, we won't make any money from the show. Not that we intended to, right? But if you go to watch this show on YouTube after the fact, and some of these clips are missing, that's just so they don't rip the whole channel down. Okay, I had no choice. But if you listen to the audio version of this, you'll be able to hear the audio regardless. So that'll always stay there because they can't find you. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. You know what I mean? Sarah Ann Carr says, "Get the Simpsons on your show. They predicted everything." That's something we will actually talk about in the future.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
Before I play this clip and we all bid you farewell, we'll actually sit at the side of the show as well. I'd just like to say thank you to everybody. Typheron, start your own podcast, mate. I'm telling you, it'll change your life in
Man of
many ways.
many words.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So thanks everybody for tuning in. As always, you loyal bunch of mother freckles. Absolutely appreciate it. I can't ask for anything more than that. You guys are the blood source to this show that we keep running here, and we appreciate you all. Kieran and J-Mac, anything you'd like to say in closing?
Just a huge thank you. Aye, you guys tune in as always, and even if we sit and just talk about absolutely nothing, you still fire in comments and questions, and it's awesome. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Janice, she said, apparently I have a Scottish heritage way down the line. Don't know how true it is, though. Janice, I 100% guarantee you will have.
Absolutely, because we are your family. We are your Scottish brothers.
Yes. The brethren. We are your brethren, innit?
Innit, Brad?
Thank you very much again for tuning in, everybody, especially our regulars. We love the regulars coming in. As soon as the names pop up, it just puts a wee smile on our face. But then we get that wee name that creeps in every now and again. We're like, who the fuck is that? That's another listener. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, and enjoy this clip from Lemmy's show, which will definitely get us taken off here. But let's go. Thanks again. I'll leave our love with you. That's the ultimate sign off with these guys. I'll leave our love. I'll leave your mum's love with you, like love. See you later. Okay. See you later, you rocket.
Take it easy, guys. Take it easy.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to Paranormal Pattern with Kev, J-Mac and Kieran, in association with Jibber Jabber Podcast. You can watch future episodes live on Facebook Live and on YouTube. You can also catch up on our previous episodes on Apple Podcasts, Audible, Spotify, and any available podcast database. Don't forget to check out our website at www.jibberjabberpodcast.com. Good night and sleep tight.